It's my pleasure to welcome you to our Northshore Speaks event this year. This has become an annual event that I look forward to each year. It's an opportunity to celebrate, to listen, and honor our student voices as they share their ideas, thoughts, hopes, and dreams in a media that's very powerful. I invite you to join me as we sit back together and listen to their thoughts and ideas that parallel those that are permeating our community and country today. Thank you for joining us this evening, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I will.
Hello, North Shore families. Welcome to Northshore Speaks, our annual event designed to showcase student voice. In a poetic form known as spoken word, our students will be sharing their original written works. This is our 5th annual Northshore Speaks, and we are excited to have 29 of our students perform spoken word poetry tonight. Spoken word poetry is a way for us to share our heartfelt experiences, personal observations, and also our own stories. Their perspectives as our Northshore students are so important for us to hear. This form of communication evokes emotion through powerful language and performance. We wanted to thank our 29 students who will be performing tonight, and also Christian Page, our Emmy-nominated performer and poet, and Leslie Connor, our North Shore Schools District own teacher who has helped coach these students through their performances. Tonight is going to be a special night for all of us. I look forward to you hearing and listening to their shared stories as our students share their work. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Bella Q. Today I'll be reading a poem I wrote called Ode to My Principal. Here I go. Ode to my principal. Oh, my amazing principal. She made a school, she is nice, she is cool. She reads the read loud often, she's sometimes in the hall. Her name is Miss Davis. She can kick a ball. Miss Davis perseveres. She works in the room under the sun. She is brave, she is fun.
Hi, my name is Phoebe Emanuel, and the title of my poem is How to Talk. Tight-knit, talkative, talk to live the life they always wanted, always thought of. Breaking their back so we don't have to go back to the place where black is the color of the skin and the soles of the barefoot feet falling fast on concrete slabs carried atop heads. Tears shed, blood red sun in the days you never knew were deep down doused with laughter and dusted with death. My father worked too hard, too many hours, 2 more jobs than a man should have to understand, should have to know, to keep his new life afloat, to keep his new wife at home, to keep his children well fed and well read, reading day and night, taking flight after standing for hours just to gain the power of an American education, just to open the doors he didn't dare to touch, touching the lives of others through the thoughts he threw their way. My mother pushed too far, was pushed too hard to not make sure that the 4 of us, which could have been more of us, would never sweep another man's floor. Fighting for freedom from the fellows who faked smiles but wrote piles against the boy with a perfect polo and the girl with chubby cheeks. This is my family, used to wish that we were something different. See, they grew up humble. But the pain only made clear the refrain of the song that sings of what's to gain, shoved but never tumbled, bruised, but never crumbled. They learned to walk instead of stumble, how to talk instead of grumble, how to talk. Thank you.
My name is Varun Chandramauli, and my poem is titled Mathematics. I will now recite my poem. Mathematics is our world's core, and of it, we need a lot more. It plays the biggest part in our daily lives, like when the stock rises or dives. So, you should try really hard to enjoy it. When you're instructed in it, don't throw a fit. Embrace the numbers, complex or not. It doesn't matter if they're a little or a lot. When you see an equation, you should think and think. Try to get your brain to start to link. You can ask questions, but be sure to keenly listen. This is so that your intelligence can glisten. These are all the steps to your success in math. Now it's you who has to choose your path. This is all the influence I have upon you. You can choose to love math. I hope you do.
Hi, my name is Antonia Weber. I'm in 5th grade at Eastridge Elementary in Woodville. Here is my poem, The Wonders of Winter. Colorful ornaments getting hung on bright green pine trees, with happy people left and right, and then sitting by the fire on those oh-so-cold nights. And when we come inside from those fun sled rides with a cup of hot cocoa and watching the marshmallows slowly melt, while a liquid hug warms my hands, I gaze outside, watching little pieces of white and hearing kids run around laughing. And of course not forgetting those delicious cookies sitting on a big platter on the dining table. I'm getting excited for Christmas Day and then going outside to play. Those are the wonders of winter.
Hi, my name is Ilya. My poem title is about my family by my grandpa. If you're different from your family, they still love you. You work together as a family team. Your problems get solved. I cook with my mom. I do experiments with my dad. I play with my sister. I play catch with my grandma. My grandpa's passed away, but his happy thoughts are still in the computer. If my dad is sad, I tell him, Grandpa is still in your heart. Grandpa's still in your heart. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Megna.
And my name is Audrey. Today we'd like to present to you our spoken word poem titled Failure.
Failure. We failed our last one, so we are trying again. Again
And again.
and again.
It sinks to your gut.
It grows your fear. It
Punches your ego.
It discourages your passion.
It kills your spirit.
The frustration and disappointment pushes you farther from your goal. But it's just a mindset.
If failure tries to push and push you
Farther and farther.
from your goal,
Push it back.
don't let it
Sink to your gut, or
grow your fear or
punch your ego, or
discourage your passion or
kill your spirit. We all fail, but that doesn't mean we are failures.
when it punches you in the stomach.
Stand back up. Just remember, failure is a step on the staircase to success. It is only a temporary step back.
You can't win if you don't play.
You can't succeed if you don't try.
The person who really failed
Is the one who gave up. Don't be that person.
We failed our first.
We failed our second, but we stood back up and made our third.
So, if you fail,
Try, and try again. And nothing can stop you, not even failure. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Brianna Paul. Younger. When we were younger, they told us that there was only good and bad, that there wouldn't be a cloud in the sky. All we had to do was paint a rainbow. But did they forget to tell us that there's more than just good, bad, right, wrong, that there would be clouds in the sky, that you needed rain to make a rainbow? When we were younger, they told us that we were perfect just the way we were, that society's only expectation was to be happy, that we could be whatever, do whatever, whenever we wanted. But did they forget to tell us that eventually we would be judged by so much more, that if we didn't stop it now, if we didn't fight it now, we could never be happy? When we were younger, they told us not to worry, that they could handle it, that they could do it all. But did they forget to tell us that one day all their problems would be ours as well, that one day we would be the ones saying not to worry, that we could handle it, that we could do it all? Oh, what has changed from when we were younger, from when we stopped listening to what they had said? Thank you.
Hi,
my name is Olivia Owing, and my poem is called My Superpower. ADHD is my superpower. What I think in a minute might take you an hour. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. It may look like I'm not trying or that I just don't care. People say I'm polite and such a sweet girl. Squirrel! My brain is unique and has a mind of its own. It can store lots of things like the apps on your phone. Sometimes thoughts melt away like ice cream in a cone. Then they come back out of the unknown. Out of the unknown. Out of the unknown. Out of the unknown. Yes, I nailed it. Oh, sorry. Where was I? I forgot. It's not an excuse. It really is true. Hey, look, there's a cow. Moo! I get hyper-focused that can lead to something good, or I get distracted and don't do what I should. Because my brain is different, this gives me an advantage. To think outside the box is truly how I manage. ADHD is the real me, and I really do embrace that. That's the key. Thank you.
My name is Darcy Kozel, and my poem is called Equal to Me. Why do I see homeless people on the streets? I may be standing on my feet, but people are down on their knees. Averting your eyes because of the words that you've heard and the rumors and the lies. And there may be equality, but there are still people on the streets, wondering, hoping for a better world where they can be on the very top floor of the hotels that we take for granted, but they're still standing on the cobble of the sidewalks, under the streetlights. And there may be equality, but there are still people on the streets. And when I go to college, I hope to see those people dressed up and polished, standing right next to me, no longer someone on the streets, but a human, equal to me. No one left behind, no one on the streets. And it's not too late. We need to regard people as human, equal to us, no matter the hate, because people may judge and stare, but you can't deny that there are still people on the streets.
My name is Rhett, and I'm going to read my poem named The Tall, Tall Tree. Once there was a tall, tall tree. Its flowers were blooming, its leaves were growing, its birds were chirping, and its squirrels were squeaking. I wish you could see it too. Oh, how I loved it.
Hi, my name is Eleanor Luther, and this is my poem, The Return to Life. The world seemed to shrink to just one house, the population just 5. Only for 1 week, they said. 1 year later, we are still stuck. 2 years, then 3. I'm confined to one room, mine. It feels like the whole world. We are told we can come back, and the cloud seems to lift. It's not just me, Mom, Dad, Simon, and George. There's a whole world. The places to go, the things to see, all gone because of COVID-19. Thank you.
My name is Vincent, and my poem is called Unknown. Unknown is this thing beyond reach, the goal to teach. Unknown is the fear that drives the earth to the ground. Unknown is the end, the beginning. Unknown is the idiocracy, the hypocrisy, the fossil fuels, killing the earth without knowing 1 ounce of oil at a time, the unknown. The excuses for unexplained deals, the unnamed mistakes, the cons, the forever remembered mistakes, helping the big corporations, driving more emissions. Unknown is eternal, infinite. The world isn't. We have to help the world before the unknown takes it. As Prince E.A. said, an error does not become a mistake until we refuse to correct it. Every day we hurt it. We love it, we burn it. The earth gives all species the hand of love. What do? We stick in a knife, the unknown.
Hey, my name's George Ingebretson, and this poem's called The Old Man. The old man who works down at the bakery owned the only 2 eyes in the whole town that caught last Wednesday morning's haze-muddled moonbeams. It was time to bake the breads, cakes, and pastries, brew the coffee, and steep the tea for a hungry town, sleeping under a midnight sun. And once the town woke up, he'd sell it nearly for free. Moonbeams cost nothing, and who's he to say that his breads were crafted with more love or perfection? His pastries were beautiful, but he knew he couldn't compete. The roof over his head wasn't going anywhere, and his friends all had one too. Moonbeams don't cost anything, and a good joke is free. He'd rather give a smile than get a buck, and he didn't have any good jokes to tell. So he figured his pastries would work just fine.
Hello everybody, my name is Anugraha Ganesh. I study in Ferdwin Elementary, 1st grade. Today I will be presenting a beautiful blue planet. Together we live in a beautiful blue planet, our Mother Earth. She gives us food and water, but its value we forget. We throw a lot of litter. We pollute the air and water. We use a lot of plastic, but forget it's toxic. Now it's time to realize to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Together we live in a beautiful blue planet.
My name is Madison, and the poem I will be speaking to today is called Inspiration, and it's for Miss Audrey Purvis. To inspire a student is an achievement so fine. To inspire a student, you can start a line of hope, a line of success, a line defined, a line for leaders. So inspire a student, inspire a class, but I wish you to know that you've inspired a lass. To inspire a student is an achievement so fine, but to give hope, there's nothing more dope. You've inspired me and given me hope to get through the pandemic, giving me a rope. So I wish you to know that you've given me a show. It's been awful fun going down the slope. But now it's time to say goodbye. Goodbye for now and see you soon. Thanks again for all you do.
My name is Trisha Bukaluri, and my poem is titled Mirrors. In my mirror, society screams bitter nothings into my war-torn ears, biting away at my moth-eaten confidence, sitting on my chest like an impudent child. Nothing will satisfy its hunger for perfection. It is insatiable, always wanting for more. The first thing the contemptible, nacreous eyes of beauty standards see is my unshapely mouth. Too small yet too large, not perfectly round, nor perfectly sculpted. The claws of expectation scratch at my skin, leaving dark scars almost similar to the acne scars that elevate themselves, popping out from my too dark skin like uneven buildings in an inky alley not suitable for us. They say, they sell me evil things, market their twisted fantasies towards insecure people, while their awful doings are what created our ruinous thoughts, our unsavory bodies, running through our heads like pesky mites. I'm too thin, yet not thin enough. I eat too much, yet too little. Butterflies flit around my tarnished head, whispering into my soul, you need to be perfect. Looking glasses scream at me, taunt me with their cruel intentions, retaining my deepest fears, driving me closer to the edge of calamity, a catastrophic collapse, pinching at my waistline, wrapping fingers around my deprived wrists, broken ribs, broken souls, corsets shaping my life. The broken mirror in my heart will never heal. They break us, but scold us when the cracks show up. They tell us that we could be beautiful. Give up your insecurities, they say, when they gifted them to us in the first place. I will always be a step behind, leaving my heart in their greedy palms. I am nothing but a wisp of smoke floating through the air without contempt, attempting to escape the scornful puppetry, the marionette strings being cleaved out of my skin. My soul blazes like a wildfire, dropping ashes all over my shiny shoes, corroding my inhibitions, my fears. Then a glass jar is placed over me, suffocating the flames in my heart. I wave in the wind like a willow, bending to their every will, every need. Will my wings ever grow large enough? Will my cocoon ever break so I can shed my moth skins? I may never be enough for them. My wings will eventually sprout. Small, uneven tendrils of pigment creep into the colorless frames of the world. The iridescence of my heart will break through the gray remarks of societal expectations. I shall grow like a dandelion in the unforgiving winters of life. I am merely a wisp of smoke floating through the stormy skies.
Hello, my name is Mary Ellen, and I would like to read you my poem. It is called Ode to Author. The authors glide above the stars, imaginary poet I call her, writing books and songs about the moon, the stars, the ocean, the river and creek flooding the sun, the animals talking. Books are like a dream. Weaving spiders, flying tigers, she makes it look like anything is possible. Whispering wizards, wand to wand, speak and whisper. Imagine, because you're a bit of earth, that is what you are.
Hello, my name is Vivan Gupta, and the title of my poem is If You Don't Want to Move to Mars. To save our planet, you can't be static, maybe plant a tree or recycle me. Since moving to Mars is not yet an option, here on Earth we have to take action. Maybe turn off the lights or have renewables in your sights. Make your coal use tight. Drop CO2 from its height. Recycle and reuse. Between the two, reuse you choose. Done with something, give it to needy. Don't collect too much, don't be greedy. Don't waste your food, at least compost. A few months later, it'll help plants for most. Doing any of these four will set an example, or maybe you'll find some new ways for people to sample. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sanul, and the title of my poem is Learning. What they teach you in school is how to do things right. But in life, you get things wrong. A lot. So you have to learn from that one tiny point where you got it all wrong. And it doesn't matter how hard you try, you're going to make mistakes. You can't do perfect. You can't excel in every little thing. Even if you use a ruler to draw your line, it won't be straight because your pencil will slip, or your hand will shake, or you'll drop the ruler. But what you can do is learn. Even the best sportsman fell, tripped, slammed, then got back up, knowing they did something wrong. When you fall, you have to rise again and remember. Even the best have failed, but then prevailed because they learned from their mistakes. Thomas Edison, inventing the light bulb, failed 100, 200, 1,000 times before he did it. He made mistakes, but he learned from them, and so can we. He grew from them, and so can we. He made history, and so can we. We can't just ignore these mistakes, or we'll keep on falling. We can't be afraid to be wrong, or we won't ever move on, unless we learn. Learn from our mistakes. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Riona, and today I'm going to tell a poem called Colors. I like pink, my friend likes blue. Some like black, some like brown. Each color is unique, each color is different. All colors together, look at the rainbow. Never heard anyone say I don't like it.
Hi, my name is Mukil Pasupati. My poem's title is Camp. Camp, our home away from home. The tents, first nothing but a bunch of stuff on the ground. But with a little effort, it could be a home. Archery, little pieces of our anger and sorrow being released from us. Now we are free from their grip. Spark, spark, burn as the flames come to life, showering me with warmth, for I had brought back what was once lost. The marshmallows, cowering at the fire, begging for mercy, until they're crispy, soft, gooey, gone. Then it's the songs. They're the joy that fills the air. Get ready, 'cause now it's the stories who've been jumbled in mouths for too long, released into the ears of the listeners. Finally, it's the stars. So close and so beautiful, you want to grab to them and never let go. Camp, it's a memory you will always cherish.
Hi, my name is Amarasa Chandra, and today I'll be presenting my Veterans Day poem. Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Force too, fighting hard for me and you, protecting our freedom every day, making it possible to work and play. Your star shines so bright, each and every day and night. We are proud of you, keeping us safe, the red, white, and blue. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Triana, and the title of my poem is Friendship.
Friendship matters. It matters each time your friend leaves everything for you. It matters each time your friend stands up for you. It matters each time your friend holds a deep, dark secret. It matters each time your friend hugs you. It matters each time your friend sees the first tear, catches the second tear, and stops the third tear. It matters each time your friend leaves footprints in your heart. Most importantly, a real friend is someone who walks in when the whole world walks out. Thank you.
My name is Nathan Joel, and my poem is titled Skiing. Waking up in the morning, getting on the car. Wait as the car is driving and look out to afar. When you finally get there, you let out a hearty cheer. You feel a blast of freezing air as you put on your winter gear. As you near the mountaintop, you feel a rush of fear. Under your feet, a 50-foot drop, steep and rocky and very, very sheer. But as you start to ski, your worries go away. Dodging all the trees, you could do this all day. Doing jumps, doing hops, you go so fast, easily skiing off of drops. You don't notice sunset has already passed. At last, when you have to go, as the time to leave grows near, you look down at the snow and plan your next trip here.
Hi, my name is Ethel Basupati. My poem's title is Art. I go with a shopping cart to buy some art. Then I bring my heart in art. Spring bring bees, mountain with big water fountain, sunrise and high rise. In May, draw anime, fill the bird feed with seed. Chase the dragonfly or butterfly, spot a sparrow as fast as an arrow, smell a rose with a nose. Chase the bunny that's being funny, camp with the lamp, bring them all in art. Thank you.
Ted, my best friend, an acrostic poem by Nydia Kingsley. Ted is my favorite toy. Everywhere I go, he follows. Day and night, we are together. Movies are fun with him. Yesterday, we watched Frozen 2. Today, we will watch it again. Beloved teddy bear, every part of him is soft and comfy, so we snuggle together for a nice long night. Today, we read my favorite book. Tomorrow, we will read his. Friendly and kind, rides in the car with me always. I bring him everywhere, except the bathroom. Every time I am sad, he comforts me. Nice vibes are what he gives. Delights my heart.
Hello, I'm Ashrita. My poem name is Math. Math, with its inspiration. Everything around us is a lovely equation. Everything is math, which makes you think, really, how fast can you blink? I have a number sentence, I write two numbers down, and when they are multiplied, a product can be found. Math is a long, amazing path. Math competitions are kind of racing. To win, you need to be confident and have a straight chin.
My name is Mickey Ho, and my poem is titled Falling. Sometimes I feel so much pressure, like the weight of the world is sitting on my shoulders, like if I take a wrong step I'll fall and never be seen again. Like I can't get anything lower than 100%. If I do, nothing will ever be the same again. And it feels like I'm falling, like I'm drowning. The waves are closing over my head and I can't swim up because every time I do, another current pulls me back under. I'm trying to grab onto the hand that's shoving its way under the waves, but every time I do, something happens and I slip back under. I'm trying to take a breath. My chest feels so tight, and every time I open my eyes, the light is just so bright, it's blinding me. I'm trying to walk forward, but I keep on slipping, falling, just barely holding myself up, trying so hard to pull myself back onto solid ground. I can't, but I have to. I need to. Just one more day, one more chance, and maybe tomorrow I can look into the light and I won't buckle into the ground. I'll pull my head up high. For once I'll ignore the whispers, the people who might be talking about me. And I won't need to prove my worth to someone. I won't need to be perfect. I'll love myself for me, because I'm lucky I have a body to walk in, eyes to see, a hand that I can write with, a heart that beats, a steady
rhythm in my chest, and a mouth that I can tell my story with. And even if I may not be perfect, even if I have my challenges, my slips, I am good enough. I am good enough. You are good enough.
What a wonderful experience for our students and hopefully for you tonight to find out more about our North Shore kids. One of the things that I want to do is make sure that we extend our special thank yous, first of all, to Kristen Page, our Emmy-nominated poet who helped coach through the performances, and Leslie Connor. Again, we want to thank you for all of your hard work with these students. Finally, I would be remiss in not thanking our communications department. Their hours of preparing and getting students ready for these performances and taping this show were invaluable. I also want to thank you, our families, for helping with the coaching and performances of the students, your encouragement and support throughout the whole process. Thank you, and hopefully you enjoyed our evening.